once again in this second business, and I've done this many, many times for clients over the years as well. And what we're going to cover today is the one business model that made me and pretty much all of my millionaire friends into millionaires in the first place. Why 100K per month is a lot easier than you think. And I'm going to give you the math behind this, real examples behind this, and on and on. The 4-step system to get you there as soon as possible. And when you've watched this video, you're going to be so clear on being able to do this. Also, why you don't need to be an expert to do this. 100K per month might feel like a big, scary number, but trust me, after this video, it's not going to feel that way. And also real numbers behind people that are doing this per month, doing this per year, in niches like knitting and piano, alcohol addiction, and many others as well. And what I'm about to give to you and share with you in this video is it. It is the full plan, the full blueprint, every step that you would need. And it's made me almost $40 million now by age 35. So I've lived and breathed this, done it many times, and I'm about to hand you the blueprint so that you can do it as well. And by the way, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate if you would do that for me. I put a lot of time and energy and effort and thought into these videos, and I make them for you completely free. So if you would just tap the button for me, that would just pay me back for all of the time and energy and hard work. Just very quickly before we get into the video, why listen to me in the first place? Well, I've scaled a coaching business to 824K a month and 16.4 million in total in just 5 years. I exited that business last year to a private equity firm in America. I scaled this new consulting business to 580K per month cash in just the first 9 months. And I also built a 100,000 person audience from absolutely scratch, from zero, in 22 months across YouTube and Instagram. And I've made $8.2 million cash collected in that time, in the last 22 months. And I've also helped 741 others to do this too, through my new consulting business that I currently run. So let's get into it. So let me share with you the coffee shop revelation. Now, around a year ago, I had coffee with a woman in the building that I used to live in Dubai. Funnily enough, I'm actually going back there tomorrow. She was roughly age 40 to age 50. I actually don't know her age, and I really hope that that doesn't offend her if she watches this video. Again, she lives in Dubai. She was making roughly 12, 15, 17,000 a month teaching knitting with her knitting community. And her system was pretty simple. She had a YouTube channel into a school community. It was $1,000 for a year. She was selling around, again, 12 to 15 to 17-ish per month and making about $17,000 per month. My question to you is this: if knitting can generate $17,000 a month, just imagine what your skill or your knowledge or your talent could generate. And here's why this works in the pattern that I see. 90% of the millionaires that I personally know, that are clients of mine, that are friends of mine, they all got there by selling knowledge, selling courses, coaching, and consulting. And here's some real-life examples from some of those friends and clients. So sales training, making over 3 million a month as of now, today. How to get six-pack abs, around 250,000 a month. How to become a barber or get more barbering clients, around 100,000 a month. Real estate investing is an obvious one. She's doing around 300,000 per month. Stopping drinking alcohol, around 90,000 per month at the moment. Amazon buying and selling, around 200,000 a month. Luxury watch education, and again, buying and selling and trading luxury watches, around 40,000 a month. Commercial cleaning, 50,000 a month, like teaching people that, not doing it, but teaching people that, of course. And finally, trading education, which made me 16.4 million for my first company. And the pattern is pretty simple and pretty evident. You learn something, you master it, you teach it to others, and then you make a lot of money from actually doing that, a hell of a lot of money, as you can see here on screen. And this is why knowledge businesses win, because the advantages are just really stark. They're immensely scalable because of the one-to-many leverage. Very high integrity because you're actually helping people with usually a skill or a talent or a passion that you have, something that you love, something that you're really good at. So it's very fun and high integrity to do. It could be very fast as well. I've seen people get to 10K a month very quickly, 100K per month very quickly, and it can be done in just a few months. The profit margins are absolutely huge, so it's not uncommon for the margin to be 80%, 90% plus versus about 5%, 25% in traditional businesses. Sometimes when these normal everyday business guys find out about the info space, they just can't believe the margins. But it actually makes a lot of sense when you know what the costs are and how little the costs are. They're also location independent. You can do this from anywhere in the world. So a traditional business might make, say, $1 million revenue with 250K profit. A knowledge business, again, that 1 million revenue can get you 950K profit, and I am proof of that in my last business and in this new business as well. And that is why people get rich so fast, because traditionally, most businesses, they don't keep a lot of the money that they make. But info businesses, course and coaching businesses, you keep almost all of the money that you make if you build one of these businesses the right way. And by the way, just to take a quick pause here, for anyone watching this that is thinking I am a liar, that this is not real, that this is not possible, that I'm making up the numbers, I'm making up the profit margins. Well, I made this video a few weeks ago, and the first thing I do in this video is I share my payment processor live on screen, my bank account live on screen, my PayPal live on screen, and even my crypto account live on screen by a screen recording. So if you haven't seen that, you can literally see me making, undeniably, about $500,000 a month cash. I also share my team structure, my product structure, my profit margin breakdown, everything. So if you haven't seen that video, go and watch that next after this one, because I think you'll not only learn a lot from that and see the proof, but that is really a nice way to see inside a real live one of these businesses that's making about $500,000 a month with an 83, 85, 87-ish percent profit margin. Now, next, let's talk about the 1 to 10 scale. And for anyone watching this thinking, yeah, but I don't have a very good skill, I don't have a talent, I don't have knowledge, I don't think I'm the best in the world. Well, you don't have to be the best in the world, and in many cases you shouldn't. So let's take the example of golf. Now, Tiger Woods is undeniably a 10 out of 10. Me, I am a 0 out of 10. I've never played golf in my entire life. So the question is, who should I learn from if I wanted to learn? Well, certainly not a 10, because they would be too advanced. I couldn't relate to them. And equally not a 7, because for me, they would still be too advanced. A 3 or a 4 would be perfect for me, but they're just a few steps ahead, and they can still understand me, and they can still relate to me. A 10 can't relate to a 0, and in many cases, they wouldn't even want to work with a 0. Oftentimes, if you're an 8 or a 9 or a 10, the last thing you want to do is work with beginners. You would not want to work with 0s or 1s or 2s, maybe 3s, always 5s. But here's the rule of thumb when it comes to this. Typically, 3s will teach 0s and 1s, 5s will teach 2s and 3s, 7s will teach 4 and 5s, and 9s will teach 6s and 7s. So again, you don't need to be world class. And in many cases, you should not be world class. You just need to be a few steps ahead of the people that you would like to work with and teach. And just to drive this point home, I just want to share 3 real life client examples. So the commercial cleaning guy that I worked with, he came to me with nothing but an idea. He didn't have a funnel, he didn't have social media, he didn't have ads, he didn't have an offer, he didn't have anything. Just a great idea. 8 to 12 weeks later, just an idea. 8 to 12 weeks later, he was making roughly 30K per month. That's what he was tracking for. And the peak month that he experienced in that year was 55K, just teaching what he already knew. The piano teacher that I worked with, so he was charging $3,000 for a 3-month program. One group call a week, he was making well over 100K per month towards the end of that offer, just teaching people to play piano. Incredible. My trading business, so I would say I started as around a 4 on the scale when I started teaching, and I was helping 0s and 1s and 2s. I made $16.4 million in total over 5 years, and then sold that company last year to a private equity firm in America, so that the pattern should be evident by this stage. Average skill, really great system, that glues all of this stuff together, because there's a lot of talented people out there. They just don't have the system, and that's what I'm giving you in this video today. So let's get into the system. This is the 4-step system to 100K per month. And these are the things that you've got to do one by one. So step 1 is to get a skill. Either pick one that you have, or learn one, or partner with someone that has one. Step 2, you need to then get attention by either building an audience, running paid ads, or both. Step 3, you then need to create an offer and understand what you're going to offer people, and then go out there and offer it to them. And step number 4 is to then, when you go to those people, you're going to exchange their money for your value. And that is it. That is the whole game. So next, let's break down each one of those so that you can fully understand them. So step 1, again, is the skill, and it's what you're going to teach. And you're going to either do one of two things. So option A is to teach what you already know, and to ask yourself, well, what are you good at? Fitness, music, trading, real estate. I was actually on a call with someone yesterday teaching electronic music production, doing about 140K per month. And that's in the broke musician market. So you would really be amazed how far you can scale some of these niches, some of these businesses. Equally, it might be business or marketing or sales or design or relationships. I've got a friend in the marriage and divorce space doing over $1 million a month, closer to $1.5 million a month, helping people to recover from divorce and fix their marriage and stuff like that. Or it might be health, or it might be mindset. It might be a hobby or a craft that others want to learn in some way, shape or form. So that's option A. Option B is to either learn something new or actually go and partner with someone who is already doing something that's valuable. Now, to do this and to learn something new, you are going to have to study for 1 or 2 or 3 months. You're going to have to read books, watch YouTube videos, maybe buy a few courses, maybe enroll in a coaching program, and you're going to do that until you are a 3 or a 4 on the scale. And when you're there in, 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you can then teach day 1 zeros. You could teach maybe 1s, maybe 2s. The piano guy did that. The knitting lady did that. I did that in many ways, and you can do that too. That's an acceptable route. Now again, let me just recap some skills that make 100K per month, or just below or just above. So bartering, sales training, trading, real estate, stopping drinking, buying and selling things on Amazon, getting six-pack abs, how to grow your business. Honestly, guys, almost any valuable skill with the right system, built in the right way and ran in the right way, can hit 100K per month. It really can. So that's step 1. And step 2, let's talk about attention and the 2 ways that you can now, when you've decided what you're going to teach, how you can go out there and get attention and start getting leads and calls and sales. Method A is to build an audience, which is slow, but it's free. And this is where you can start a YouTube channel, make an Instagram account, make a TikTok account, maybe a Twitter account, and you're going to post valuable content consistently over time. And I just want to say, you do not need a big audience to make a lot of money. All you need is 1 or 2 or 3,000 people, sometimes less, that love you and trust you and respect you and have the problem that you solve. If you can get a true 1,000 people that are like that, you can get to 30K, 50K, 100K per month. No problem. And we're going to cover the math behind that in a second, so just stay with me, because when I share the math, you'll see just how easy and simple this is. Method B, if you don't want to build an audience, well, you could just run paid ads. Now, this is faster, but it's not free. It costs money. You've got to put some capital on the line. And this is what you're doing. Affiliate caras, granas, YouTubers, TikTok, whatever. You do not need to know an audience at all to do this. And it's a lot harder. It's a lot easier. Yeah? And it's a hell of a lot less scalable, because you can't scale organic, but you can scale ads. And this can get you to 100K per month in 2, 3, 4 months if you do this right. A personal brand to do this. You do not need a big following to do this. You don't even need a reputation, and you don't even need a website either. I've got friends and clients making over 100K per month with zero public presence. And to give you an example of this, so for those that don't know this, my first business that I grew to 16.4 million was faceless. And it was 95% paid ads. Yes, we had a YouTube and a Twitter, but it was faceless. It was slides and a voiceover. I had zero personal brand. I didn't have a big following. I had about 300 to 400 Twitter followers and 1 or 2 or 3,000 YouTube subscribers. I didn't even need a website because all that traffic was going into a sales process. And just to give you clarity here, so a website is for information. A sales process is for conversion. They're two very, very different things. And if you have a good offer and a good traffic source and a good sales process, you do not need a website. You do not need a personal brand. You don't need a big following, and you barely need a reputation and on and on. So I just wanted to dispel those myths because they're simply not true. So that's step number 2, is to start getting attention and eyeballs. Step number 3 is building an offer and making offers and going out there to your audience and to the people whose attention you're getting and asking if they need help. And there's a couple of ways to do this, so let's cover them now. Now, this is where most people start to overthink it. And there's a very simple approach to this. When it comes to reaching out to people on whatever platform, you can just say this: hey, I help, type of person that you help, with a specific problem that they have. Would you be open to a conversation about what their situation is? That is it. It's really that simple. Now, if building an audience, you're going to post content, you're going to DM people who engage, start conversations, chat to them and take it from there using the above script. If you're running ads, then you're going to run ads to an explainer video, to an application to let them self-book and book in a call. And I just want to caveat here, at this stage, you're not selling, really. You're certainly not hard selling, that's for sure. You're just putting the feelers out there. You are going out to people, getting their attention, seeing if they need help, seeing if you can offer them the help. And it's very simple. It's very easy. It's very high integrity and high respect. And it's very high value because you're just leading with value. If you're doing content, you're just making valuable content about the pains and the problems that your ideal potential customers have. And then eventually people are slowly going to ask for your help. And this is what happened to me. People just started asking me for help organically. And I sold them the help. And they gave me money and I gave them value. And that is a business right there. So that's step 3, is to start making offers, talking to people in the market, getting them on calls, having a chat with them, vice versa. Then comes step 4, which is selling and exchanging money for value. Now, here's the sales process. So let's say you've got traffic, right? You've made an offer, you're getting attention, you're starting to talk to people, and you book someone in for a call. You get them on a call. You're going to understand their problem. You're going to explain how you can help them. You're going to share your offer, share your price, let them decide yes or no, and that is it. Now, if you haven't seen last week's video, go and watch that next because I give you my exact sales script, my pitch deck, how to handle objections, exactly what to say and how to say it. So if you haven't seen that last video from last week, go and watch that later. And there is no hard selling here. There's no pressure. It's just a simple, genuine, honest conversation. And the right people will say yes and pay you. And it's a really magical, amazing experience when it starts to happen to you, because I know that it can be a bit unbelievable that you're going to have calls with people and they will give you $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000. But I mean, I've been doing this for so many years now for myself, for other people, and this will happen. And you will make money if you build the system right. And at 5K to 10K per client, well, you only need 5 clients, 10 clients, 20 clients a month to make 100K per month. And it's a lot easier than people think it is. With that said, next let's cover the pricing strategy for 100K per month. So to hit 100K per month, you need the right math. So let me just give you the math so that you understand it. Now there's option 1 is high volume, medium price. Now, by medium price, I mean around 5K. And if you get 20 clients, that's it. You at 100K. Option 2 is medium volume, but high price. So let's say you have a 10K offer and you just get 10 clients. Well, again, there you go. You at 100K a month. Option 3 is closer to what I like to do, which is much lower volume, but a premium price tag. And it would look something like this, around, say, 15K, 25K, and at that price, well, 4 clients, and you're already at 100K. Now, again, I like to do a bit of a mix. So I have a group program, a one-to-one program, a done fee program. I also have a workshop and a mastermind, and we make, we average about $550 a month cash right now. And it's down to that mix because we can serve the bottom of the market, the middle of the market, and the top of the market as well. But if you were maybe newer to this, so you're only making 3K, 5K, 10K, 20K a month-ish right now, mail one offer first. Get it working, add another offer later, get it working, add another offer later, get it working, and slowly build that product ecosystem. You don't start with that. You do it one at once. Now, why should you charge around 5K minimum? Well, the math is simple. With a 1K offer, you need 100 clients to get to 100K. That's a lot of volume and a lot of customers, a lot of support tickets, a lot of coaching to do. It's not ideal. At a 5K offer, again, you just need 20 coins to get to 100K. So easy. At a 10K offer, you need 10 people to say yes. There's like 8 billion people on planet Earth. Do you think you could just get 10 people to give you 10K? I'm telling you that you can, if you do things right. And again, which sounds easier of those 3 options? Not to mention, the higher the price, the higher quality the clients, the better results that they get, therefore the better testimonials that you get, therefore the more sales that you're going to get through word of mouth long term. Now, my minimum price is about 5K. My average price is about 15 to 25K, and my premium price is above 50K. Let's talk about the timeline to 100K a month. Now, month 1 is where you set the foundation. You've got to do this or else things fall apart later. So when it comes to setting your foundation, here's what you're going to do. You're going to choose your skill or your talent or your knowledge, or partner with someone that has it. You're going to start either creating content or running paid ads, or ideally both. You're going to start to build your offer, put together your deliverables. And by deliverables, I mean, what are you going to sell? Is it a course, group coaching, one-to-one coaching, in-person consulting? Is it via Zoom? Is it in person? Is there a Word doc? What is it that you're going to deliver when people buy? And you're going to start to get your first few paying clients. Month 2 to 3, you're going to start refining your messaging. You're going to start increasing either your ad spend or your content flow and putting out more or better content. And you're probably going to start wanting to think about hiring the help with delivering or support or sales calls or messaging people or having the conversations. If it's getting a bit too much for you. If it isn't, keep doing it yourself. If it is, maybe just consider hiring some help. Month 3 to 4 is where the breakthrough is going to start to occur. And here you're going to be optimizing your funnel flow. Again, starting to build a team and fast moving towards 100K per month. If you are getting stuck month 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're still not at 100K per month, something is wrong somewhere in the system. Because if you do exactly what I tell you today, and you do it properly, and you do it for long enough, 100K per month is simply, it's just an inevitability. It's just mathematically, you are going to get there if you do what I tell you to do in this video. And as a real example of this, I just wanted to come back to my cleaning client. Now, week 1, he came to me with an idea, nothing else, and he hired me to help him. Week 2, we built a simple offer, £3,000 to start with, about $4,000 US, and we went to build a team and fast moving towards 100K per month. If you are getting stuck month 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're still mothered 100K per month, something is wrong somewhere in the system. Because if you do exactly what I tell you today, and you do it properly, and you do it for long enough, 100K per month is simply, it's just an inevitability. It's just mathematically, you are going to get there if you do what I tell you to do in this video. And as a real example of this, I just wanted to come back to my cleaning client. Now, week 1, he came to me with an idea, nothing else, and he hired me to help him. Week 2, we built a simple offer, £3,000 to start with, about $4,000 US, and we created the sales process and got going. Week 4, he had his first ever close, his first person pay him £3,000. By week 5, he hit 15K in total sales, not per month, but in total sales. And by week 9, he'd hit £100,000 cash, again, not per month, but in total sales volume. Now, I just want to reiterate, he didn't have a personal brand at all. He didn't have any audience at all. He didn't even have a website at all. He just had a very good, well-built funnel, very good copywriting, and that just means all the words that you say in your ads, your content, your funnel, your sales script, very good copywriting. He had a clear skill that people wanted to learn based on his experience, and a very good, well-built offer. And that is all that you need to make tens of thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars over the coming months and the coming years. Now, I think it's fair to say this is by far one of the fastest, simplest, easiest businesses to start and grow pretty much on planet Earth. And the reason is you don't need any inventory, you don't need a warehouse, you don't need any employees, you don't need a physical location, and there's zero complex operations. You just either run some simple ads, make some simple content, send it to an explainer video, talk to people, and sell them your program. And if we compare it to service businesses, you're not trading time for money. There's massive one-to-many leverage. The profit margins are, I dare say, some of the highest on planet Earth of any business, and they're very, very scalable. Compared to content creation alone, these businesses are way more profitable than ad revenue and sponsorships, faster and easier to start and grow. You can run ads, so you don't actually need to make any content at all if you don't want to, like I didn't in my old business, where it was like 95% paid ads. And you've got 100% control and 100% scalability as well. You also got the karma factor, and I genuinely believe this. When you help people and add real value to people's lives, you get rewarded. And not just financially either, but you truly impact lives. You really feel fulfilled. You also create generational wealth, and you also build meaningful relationships as well. A lot of the people I work with, most of the people I work with, they become friends, and we meet up for dinner and we meet up for coffee and they come over to my villa and me and my girlfriend go to their house. And I would say more than half of the customers and clients that I work with, that becomes the case. And it's really nice to build great relationships and know that you're actually making a difference. It's not just money in, money out. With these businesses, you really build a lot of connection and a lot of value, and they're just fantastic for actually truly helping people. And to give you an example, my knitting friend, she's not just making 17K a month. She's living her dream life. She's living a great community that really helps people. She's doing what she loves and what she's passionate about, and she's helping people to learn a craft that they love, and that adds a lot of value to their life as well. And again, that's what this business model gives to you. Now, I want to give you an action plan here so that you can just go and get on with this and go and make this happen as soon as you've watched this video. So this week, I want you to list some of the skills or talents or knowledge that you have. Pick the most valuable one and start researching who would pay to learn this. One best place to start. And I'll give you an example of this. I was on a call with a gentleman a few days ago, and he was saying, well, I want to help people to stop drinking, but I don't think anyone is going to pay me to learn that. So I shared my screen and I went onto YouTube and I searched stop drinking alcohol. And one of the first videos, it had about 1.2 million views. Surprise, surprise, it led to a sales funnel. And I just showed the guy and I said, listen, can you see how big the market is? Can you see that this is going into a sales funnel, a sales process? There's an offer at the end of this. And just imagine 0.1% of those people buy from you. That is a lot of people to help and it's a lot of money to make. And that is usually why I start. When someone comes to me with a niche, I go on YouTube and I search it. I go on Google and I search it. I go on Reddit and I search it. I go on Instagram and I search it. And I just start to look at who's talking about this, how many people are talking about this, how many followers did he have, what's the engagement like, what are the sales funnels like in that niche. And I just start to do the discovery. And that's your first step, is to go and do your discovery, go and do your research. In the next 2 weeks, you're going to create a basic offer around 2, 3, 4, 5K minimum, and you're going to outline what you're going to teach and how. Then you're going to start either posting content or creating and running paid ads, or again, both, if you choose. In the following 30 days, you're going to start to have your first few conversations, start to get your first few call bookings, and hopefully start to close your first few clients. Then you can deliver massive value to them, eventually get testimonials from them, and repeat. And in the following 90 days, you're just going to start to just refine everything. You're going to start to push on the gas, scale to 10K, 30K, 50K a month over time, build systems and processes to help you continue running and operating and growing the business, and just dial things in. And in the following 12 months, eventually, if you do this right, you are going to get to 100K per month. It's just, if you do what I told you today, you can't not get there, because it's just mathematically sound. It's just proven that it works. Now let's just pause for a second, because I'm sure that some of you have some questions, some ideas, some objections, and I've written out a few here, just in case you have these. So for any of you thinking, well, I'm not an expert, you don't need to be. You can be a 3 that teaches once. For any of you thinking, yeah, but Will, in my niche, people won't pay me 1K, 3K, 5K. Well, let me remind you of the knitting woman. Let me remind you of the stop drinking guy. Let me remind you of the piano guy. Let me remind you of the electronic music producer guy that I had a call with literally yesterday, about 14 hours ago, that's making over 100K a month, helping people make music tracks on the internet. So yes, they will. Yes, they will. They will pay those prices. Maybe you're thinking, Will, yeah, but I don't have any audience. Well, neither do a lot of my friends, making 50K a month, 100K a month plus. You can run ads without an audience. You can do outreach without an audience. So stop complaining and start scaling. If you're thinking, yeah, but Will, I don't know how to sell. Well, you're not selling at all. You are helping people, and the calls are basically just chats with other humans like me and you that need help. And you can learn all the basics that you need here on my channel. There's a few sales videos now. I give you my script. I tell you how to handle objections. I tell you how to run the call. So go and watch those videos and you're going to know everything that you need to know to do this. Or maybe you're thinking, yeah, but Will, I just don't have the time. Well, this takes, honestly, less than 10 hours a week, usually. Even less if you eventually hire me to come in and just help you to do all of this. Maybe you want to come into my Done For You program. Just let me and my team do it all for you. That's an option that you have. And if you don't want to do that, honestly, if you can do 30 minutes to 1 hour per day consistently, this is all going to come together for you. That said, why don't most people do this? Well, I think the real reason is that they just don't believe that it's possible. They think it won't work for me. Oh, but my situation is different. Oh, but my niche won't pay those prices. Oh, I'm not special. I'm not good at business. I'm not good at sales. And listen, you've got 2 options. Believe those limiting beliefs and don't do this and stay poor. No offense, by the way. Or adjust your beliefs, do what I'm telling you here, and make fuckloads of money. You have that choice. And here's the truth. If a 48-year-old plus woman do it, you can do it as well. My results for the context. So what I've done with this model, I've made almost $40 million now. It's crazy to say. I've exited a business to private equity, which is also crazy to say. I'm now making between about 500 and 600K per month. Again, doing this for the second time, which is also crazy to say. And I've helped hundreds of people to replicate this system as well. I am not special. Look at me. I'm just like a guy who has a brain. I'm just a human that's learned stuff and done stuff over time. And I just learned the system and I follow this system. And if I can do it, you can do it as well. Final thoughts for today, guys and girls. Life is too short to be broke. Life is too short to not achieve your goals and your dreams. The opportunity is right here, waiting for you. Get a skill that you have or learn more. Find people that need help. There's many out there to pretty much everything. Get a system that works, build everything properly, and there's a lot of money waiting to be made. You just need to start.